Okay, continuing looking at our MyndShare tools that come with the MyndShare software with your interactive flat panel. We're going to take a look at a couple annotation tools in this video. We're also going to take a look at a couple tools that allow us to kind of zero in students' attention to different parts of the screen. I know there's people out there are really fond of that window shade tool with their Active Inspire on their Promethean boards. Well, MyndShare has something very similar to that and a couple additional features we're going to take a look at. So first, let's take a look. Let's say I have a website that's open. Let's take a look at just a simple Envision Math visual learning bridge animation. And let's say that that is playing, and I want to write on it. So what I can do is, let's say I'm at a point now where I want to write a math problem, or I want to draw students' attention to something that's on the screen. What I can do is, let's play this a little bit further.
They pick all the apples, they crush them into a pulp. Then they press all the juice.
Okay, let's say I want to stop here and I want to do some type of an annotation. I have a pencil tool that's right up here, second row on the left-hand side. When I click on the pencil tool, it allows me to choose a color, it allows me to choose a thickness, and an opacity. In other words, if you can see through it, the ability to see through it. I'm going to turn the opacity down a little bit. And let's actually, something else I want to introduce you to is the cursor tool. In the top left corner, if I click the cursor tool, it allows me to adjust things on the screen and go back to using my pen or my finger as a mouse, if you will. And then I can go back to the pencil again. So let's say I want to do a math problem on here and I want to use yellow. I can go ahead and write directly on top of the visual learning bridge, or anything that's on my screen. I can do a PDF file, which you're about to see in a little bit, an animation, a website, a document, anything. I just click on the pencil and I'm able to annotate on top of it. Which brings me to the next tool, which is the redo and the undo. So you'll see a left arrow, it's the color red. If I hit that, I'm going to cycle over here. You can see as I hit the red arrow, it goes ahead and it deletes. It undoes what I had just written, or I can hit the redo tool, which brings it right back again. So I've got my back arrow and my front arrow, just like in Google Docs or Microsoft Word. You got your undo and your redo tool. Under the clear screen option, I also have the ability to clear the entire screen. If I hit yes, that is the tool that looks like a windshield wiper, if you will. I also have a tool that's just to clear the annotations, just those things that I wrote on top I can choose. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit yes there, and you can see it deleted everything that I wrote all at once. Okay? So that's the cursor tool. It's an annotation tool, the undo, the redo, and then a couple options for clearing your screen. So what I want to take a look at now is, let's say I have a PDF file. Here we have multiplication facts to 81. Let's say I want to enlarge it. When I'm in the cursor tool, I hit the magnifying glass and I can make the worksheet larger or smaller. And I can also drag it around so that I can zero in just on the area that I want students to pay attention to. So let's take a look at this. Let's say I only want the students to see the first line of the multiplication facts. There is a tool, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down on the left. Looks like a window shade. If I click on that, it blacks out my screen, and I can actually click and I can drag down so that I can focus students' attention only on the row that I want them to see. So let's take a look. Let's say I want to go ahead and I can write the answer to the problem. I chose the pencil tool. And I'm only looking at the first row, and I wrote the number 18. Let's say, though, I even want to zero down even further. I don't want a window shade tool. I just want them to focus on that one problem, that 2 times 9 equals 18. There's a little icon. It looks like a flashlight. If I click on that, it's called the torch tool. I can actually click on that and drag and see students, get students to pay attention to only one problem on there. And I can actually make that larger or smaller depending on how big I want that magnification tool to be. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the X button. That closes out the magnifying glass. And I am going to hit the X button on the window shade tool as well, and it brings me back to my original PDF file. Now let's take a look at another tool. It is the Media Gallery. It's 5 icons down on the right-hand side. It looks like a blue computer screen with a green plus sign. If I click on that, it opens up an image library, and I can extend the folder structure, and I can see I have architecture, blank charts and diagrams, general, geography, math, and science. So let's say I'm not a very good drawer. I can go into this math folder if I want, and I can bring in various images directly from the Media Gallery that I can use with the students. I can bring in different pictures so that I don't have to draw them. I may not be the best drawer of pyramids. I can bring that in. So you have a lot of different predefined icons here that you can bring in to use for your lesson. I even have a compass. I have some graph paper and different shapes. Another option, if you're not the best drawer out there, 4 icons down on the right-hand side, there's a picture of a red square, a purple triangle, and a gold circle. This allows me to insert images. I've got the circle, the square, the triangle. I have a polygon. And if I click on the circle, it allows me to draw a circle right on the screen. I can, again, just with everything else, adjust the thickness. And I can also adjust the opacity. So if I don't want it to be see-through, I can make it so that you can't see through it. Let's take a look at that. You can see the difference here. You can't see through it. There is no coloring. And then it's a little bit transparent there as well. If I want to delete, I go back to my cursor. I click, I drag all the way down in the bottom right corner. When I start dragging, you're going to see a trash can. So what I do is I click, and I can just drag it down right to that trash can, and it gets deleted. So in addition to the clear screen tools, I also have the ability to drag things to the trash can. And if you're really a bad drawer, there's one last tool that I want to share with you in this video. It is a picture of a pencil with a partial shape. If I click on this, this is a shape prediction tool. So let's say I want to draw a square, and I'm not very good at drawing a square. I just freehand it, and it predicts what I want to draw. So let's say I want to draw a circle. Look at that. It predicts what I want, and it draws it for me. Triangle. So this is for those people like myself who are not good at drawing at all. I have the shape prediction tool. Again, that's under your shapes, and it's the icon that has a pencil with a partial shape drawn. So that was a lot in this presentation. A little bit about annotation, clearing the screen, undos, redos, annotating on top of websites, PDF files. We've gone over shapes. We've gone over how to clear the screen, dragging things to the trash can. But you're going to want to be familiar with those because I think you're going to use them a lot, especially that window shade tool and the torch tool.